Hey Blogverse, it's coal miner's granddaughter Heather, and I don't do video blog entries very often simply because I have to put on lipstick and make sure my hair doesn't look like ass, and you have to talk and I hate my voice, but this is too good not to do a video blog of. It just doesn't do it justice to do it with pictures and words, so I'm actually not going to edit this. I'm going to do this completely raw and uncut and me. So anyway, I was going through my bathroom cabinet, cleaning it out, and I found the vestiges of all of my fertility treatments that I had to go through in order to have Bubba and Miss, and I thought I would share them with you. I actually still have leftover injectable fertility drugs that I actually called my pharmacy to see if they would take back, because I don't really think we need fertility drugs that cause the maturation of eggs on the ovaries and the ejection of said eggs from the ovaries in our water supply. Yeah. That's my public service to all of you, is that I'm actually going to take all this to the pharmacy to have it incinerated and not pour it down my sink. You're welcome. So anyway, the first thing I wanted to show you in my little fertility kit was this handy-dandy instructional video. It's called Fertility Therapy. So, this video tells you all about how to use Follistim, which is a fertility drug, and how to inject it. Teaches your partner how to inject it into your butt or your thigh or whatever. But what it doesn't tell you is, oh gee, you need to go into your bathroom and pull out your Follistim pen. And you need to load the valve, the Follistim, into this little part of the pen, and then you need to load your needle. Yep, that's a needle. You see it right there at the very end. And then you need to stick this in your body, and then you need to inject yourself, and then in 30 minutes you need to have intercourse, not sex, because sex could be, like masturbation or, oral sex or, whatever, but you need to have intercourse. We have actual penetration and insertion of the sperm. Yes, I learned this. So there's your Follistim pen. The other thing that this fertility therapy instructional video, it doesn't tell you that fertility therapy is more like, oh dear God, I can't believe we just had planned sex at 5:30 in the morning. Let me go have some chocolate or some really hard liquor because that sucked. Yeah, that's going in the garbage. So actually the Follistim pen wasn't all that bad. That you inject into your abdomen. And the needle's really, really tiny and it's really, really fine and it's not all that bad. The worst medicines were, actually not medicine, hormones. The worst ones, oh let me find it. What did I do with it? Oh, okay, here we go. There's Paranal. That's this little stuff right here. And it's like a dry powder. I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see it shaking around in there. And you have to mix it up with the diluent. Okay, so picture this. It's midnight. All you want to do is go to sleep. But instead you have to go into your bathroom, pop the top off of this. It's a glass vial, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to pop the top off, making sure you don't, like cut yourself in the meantime, which, yes, I would because I'm just that big of a klutz. So you have to pop that off, then pop off the top of the diluent. Pour the diluent in here, mix it all up until it's liquid, because, you don't want any powdery chunks that you have to push into your body. God forbid. This is all at midnight. Then you take this little puppy right here. Whoopsie. Isn't that just pretty? Isn't that pretty? Right there, okay? So then you gotta fill this puppy up with all of this, hoping there are no powder chunks left, hoping to God that it's all mixed up and it's liquid, okay? So you got to do all that, then you get it ready, right? All at midnight. Oh, see, we got little droplets coming up, okay? And then, check it out, you gotta alcohol swab up this part of the body right there, and stick the needle in. And then you got to shove all that stuff in there. And then you got to wait an hour, and then you have to have sex. I don't know about you, but I was never in the mood after sticking this in my thigh. Yeah. So I actually have 4 vials of this stuff left that I didn't use. See? Nice. Now, the Paranal would actually mature the eggs on your ovaries. Because, you know, you've already, like, shot yourself up full of follistem so that you have all these eggs covering your ovaries. Then, these would mature the eggs, you know, take them from toddlers to preteens. And then this is the pregnal. This is the stuff that you would inject to tell your body, okay, time for the egg to make its way off the ovary, leave the nest, and come down the fallopian tube for fertilization. I actually have 5 vials of that left. And that at least you didn't have to mix and worry about it not being, you know, totally liquid and still being a powder. That at least came as a liquid. So that at least was friendly, sort of. So, you know, after all that happened, then the magic of artificial insemination where, you know, it's your husband with a cup and a couple of Playboys, and then later it's you and the husband and the doctor and the nurse and probably an intern who is so terrified of being at the business end of your body that he's sitting up at your head trying to learn how to do artificial insemination. That was fun. But the best part about all of this is that I kept calendars of my cycles. There's 2002. There's 2005. Oh yeah. 06. 07. 2001. Fabulous year. And 2003. So anyway, I kept calendars of my cycles. Detailed calendars. Now I'd show you my ovulation kit. That was fun. Pee on a stick every morning, stick the stick in a machine that says, oh, you're at low fertility levels. You're at peak fertility levels. Go have sex. That I bequeathed to a friend of mine who has successfully used it to get pregnant twice. But 2004, where is 2004? Pesky 2004. That was the worst year. That was the year I went through 4 or 5 rounds of fertility treatments with no success. 2005 was the banner year of actually going through 1 fertility artificial insemination and having the twins. And then, of course, 2007, actually 2006, where it was like, I don't need no stinking birth control, and oh, there was J-Man. But let's see. What was I doing? May 24th, 2004. Wow. I was at high fertility levels. You see that little HF? That was my little abbreviation for high fertility. And it says blood work and sonogram. That meant I was at Dr. Nishat's office getting my blood drawn and then having a vaginal sonogram, which basically means he shoves the probe so far up inside me it's like having my tonsils examined. But no, it was just my ovaries. And there, HCG injection, 12 a.m., 10 milliliters. Yeah. I actually think I remember that one. That was the one where I like stuck myself in the thigh and then cried for 30 minutes afterwards because it hurt so bad. I think we were supposed to have intercourse that night, but as you can see, there is no notation. See, there's my notation for intercourse. I-C. Morning. Did that a couple days later, because that night was not in the mood. Yeah. So anyway, I thought I would take you all into my little freak show of a memory lane that was still hidden underneath my bathroom sink. So for the next 12 hours, I'll let all of this expired equipment go for the bargain price of, trust me, you don't want any of this. So, hope you've enjoyed one of my rare vlogs. Hope to bring you another one soon. And thanks for sharing.